going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about the big reveal for DLC 4, the new wonder weapon in zombies, and even the possibility of seeing a super Easter egg. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and also as a reminder, you can save 10% off any order using code DYNAMITE over at gameradvantage.com. The link is, of course, down below in the description. I'm sure you probably saw 1,000 videos in your inbox today about the map name reveal for the final Cold War Zombies map. We are going to talk about quite a few topics tonight, which I haven't seen addressed too much here on YouTube. Definitely be on the lookout. And today we got the release of the Season 6 intro cinematic cutscene, which to me blew my mind and is easily my favorite cutscene they dropped thus far for the post-launch season. That is going to be worth its own separate video in terms of a breakdown. I have a lot to say in terms of that cutscene and also what it set up. You guys may have missed quite a few things from it, so I'll be posting a separate video about it in the next couple of hours from now. Definitely make sure you have notifications on to make sure you never miss an upload. There are also quite a few new weapons and some other pieces of DLC that is going to be a part of the finale to Cold War's life cycle. So we'll be talking about that in a couple of hours. But first and definitely foremost, the map name reveal for DLC 4 is Foresaken. Yes, a one-word map. And we haven't had too many of those, right? We had 5, Ascension, Moon, Transit, Origins classified, a handful, right? It's a decent amount, but for the most part, we don't really have too many one-word map names all that often for Treyarch Call of Duties. But as Treyarch went ahead and wrote, the ultimate showdown between Requiem and Omega is about to begin. Today, we're proud to reveal the title, logo, and release date for the finale of Black Ops Cold War Zombies, Foresaken. It'll launch October the 7th at the start of Season 6, and like all post-launch Zombies experiences in Cold War, this new round-based map will be available for free, providing the shocking conclusion to the Dark Aether story's opening chapter. Notice that I said opening chapter because the story has just begun. They're going to be telling this story, or continuing it, I should say, over as many Call of Duties as possible in the foreseeable future, whether it's Vanguard, Modern Warfare 2 in a couple of years, and even beyond that. They also said, Requiem and Omega have embarked upon rival operations to extract Sergeant Kazimir Zykov from the Dark Aether, believing this quote-unquote lost the Russian, notice how it's in quotations, the Soviet soldier who closed the portal at Project End Station will be the key to preventing a destructive force from entering our world. And now, Omega defector Sergei Ravenov has provided Requiem with intelligence detailing a massive new ethereal portal being constructed in western Ukraine. So not only will we probably get a bit of a conclusion to a couple of different character arcs such as Ravenov, but specifically Zykov. Is he real or is he not, right? Is he manipulating Peck because he is really the Forsaken in disguise? Is Zykov the Forsaken himself and doesn't even know it? Maybe he loses his memory every so often, doesn't remember what he actually does. Lots of questions with who Zykov even is, but the fact that Treyarch put that in quotations definitely gets me thinking that he isn't really a lost Russian. He may have actually died all those years ago during World War II when he first entered the Dark Aether at Project End Station, and maybe now there is more than meets the eye with who this mysterious character is, but 100% we're going to get a conclusion with his character arc in this map, and maybe Vanguard Zombies be the opportunity to tell a bit of a prequel story with his character specifically, what he went through after going into that portal, whether he died right away or whether there was an adventure that we just don't know about just yet. Now, the short blog post today then said, with Agent Maxis understanding the path ahead of her and her own role in determining the fate of our dimension, the stakes couldn't possibly be higher. And we all know that the director himself is single-handedly trying to teach Samantha Maxis how to use her powers, maybe doing so in a way that's a bit dangerous for her. Will this get her killed in the map? It's very likely. I'm just looking forward to another conversation between the director and Samantha, and the evidence right now does point towards the director being Eddie himself. I'm sure it'll get revealed fairly quickly during the Easter egg of Foresaken, unless they save it for some big shocking moment during the ending cutscene of the map. Really looking forward to how this is all going to pan out, but they also said be sure to turn on notifications for Treyarch on Twitter in the coming days for more information on what's coming to Zombies in Foresaken, including the official Season 6 gameplay trailer and more teasers you won't want to miss. Who knows what else is waiting in the Dark Aether. So as a bit of a recap for what the marketing schedule looks like, as we got with Firebase and Modern Toten, those gameplay trailer reveals did release on Thursday, shortly before the maps ended up coming out. And we know that Forsaken is coming out next week during October the 7th, so this Thursday has to be the day, unless for some reason they drop it tomorrow, which is Wednesday, or even push it back to Friday. Anything is possible at this point, but we're just going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that, yeah, they're probably following a very specific marketing schedule, unless COVID or something else has impacted their ability to do so. Now, any point before Friday, we should also be getting the roadmap reveal and full full Season 6 gameplay trailer showcasing everything coming to multiplayer, Warzone, and even zombies. So lots of marketing is on the way. I cannot wait to break all of it down here in the channel, and that's why I said make sure you have notifications on to ensure that you never miss an upload when I break down something new that is coming to Black Ops Cold War or even Vanguard. Now we then got a beautiful image of what appears to be a wonder weapon or wonder weapons coming to DLC 4, the Foresaken. We have a post-it note that says, Carver, one of our teams recovered this from the Dark Aether, seems to be a schematic for an ancient weapon. So this wonder weapon could end up being a buildable of sorts, considering Treyarch has done that many times in the past with a lot of other wonder weapons. So I have to wait and see how that's going to work, or it'll be through a short side quest of some sort, similar to the one we had over in Firebase Z. Now the bottom post-it note is something that they already released on Twitter a few days ago. Looks like you'll get your wish for an authentic Dark Aether weapon after all, Strauss. So this is really fascinating. Now we have what looks like an axe or two different versions of an axe, and there's also text behind the post-it note which we can't read all that well, but luckily Caljitsu over on Twitter tried to break it down the best he possibly could. Forged and redacted, two forms the Chrysalax, redacted sharp as the more redacted of Deficirax, the redacted and to defeat redacted it will take redacted. So a lot is redacted in the text there. We're not sure what that exactly means, but Treyarch then followed up with a tweet which kind of clarifies what this is trying to say, and they went ahead and wrote, forged in the pools of Etheria, two forms the Chrysalax shall take. So the Chrysalax is the name of this wonder weapon, and there are two versions of it that we're going to see in Foresaken. So maybe there'll be two other ones so that we have four, one for each player in the map, or there's just two and any player can grab the two no matter how many players are in the match. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but it might be possible that only two people on the map itself could have the wonder weapon at a time. So we'll have to wait and see once the gameplay trailer releases, or when we get more information in the upcoming blog post detailing DLC 4. Now we haven't had too many melee weapons that were the wonder weapons of a zombies map. The only one I can really think of is over in World War II Zombies, the Frozen Dawn. We had a couple of different melee weapons which were incredible. One of them actually made you feel like you had Thor's hammer Mjolnir. Now Eric Maynard over on Twitter went ahead and pointed out something that I definitely missed, and that is the following. The other name we see referred to on the paper is the Disperex, and that name is seemingly a pun for the Spanish word for shooting and the word axe. So it is possible, as he's suggesting, that this wonder weapon could shoot something. Maybe he could have some long-range attack, and then it's also a melee weapon at the same time. It's going to be overpowered nonetheless. I remember making a Thor's Hammer type of Cold War Zombies video back during, I think it was Season 1, when they released the Hammer melee weapon. If you match that up with Deadwire, you can feel like you have Thor's Hammer over in Cold War. This might be the real deal, though. This could be a Dark Aether Stormbreaker, so to speak, here in the Foresaken. I cannot wait to see how this is going to work over in this map, and I'm sure there's going to be many other secrets that we don't know about just yet. I think it's worth pointing out, as Jason Lindell himself once mentioned during an interview of Black Ops 4, that they don't always want to reuse the same formula every single map, right? We had the four variants of the Die in the Machina. We had a different wonder weapon known as the Ray K for Firebase, and there was only one version of that, right? You can pack-a-punch it, sure, unlike the Die, but then over in Modern Totem, we had a very different type of structure for how the wonder weapon worked in the map, where there were a couple different types of wonder weapons you can get, but they weren't limited to a specific player in the game at all, right? You can actually get all of them as often as possible, since you can grab them through loot that drops from dead zombies. I mean, it was a really cool system that they never tried before with a zombies map, so I am happy to try something different yet again here with DLC 4, instead of reusing the same four wonder weapon formula that we had in many other zombies maps in the past. But we all know that we're going to be going to the Redlight Greenlight facility in Ukraine during this experience. I do want to mention real quickly that the way they can make it different from the campaign mission itself, aside from changing up the layout a little bit, you know, adding some broken areas, more zombies, destruction, is allowing us to do a little bit more outside, because in the campaign mission you don't really do too much outside apart from a few objectives. Then you're inside the facility for the remainder of that mission, so maybe that's how they'll put a spin on Redlight Greenlight, by adding a few more areas or just expanding the outside location so that there's a little bit more to do. Maybe some more perk machines, mystery box spawn, who knows what else. But I should also remind you, not only we're getting a new perk machine for the 10th and final perk, we don't know what that is yet. We'll get the reveal for it probably during the roadmap reveal or the upcoming blog post. We also have a new perk machine coming for Death Perception. So we have two new perk machines popping up in this map. The map, without a doubt, will be fairly large. And you guys already know that Firebase reused Vietnam from the campaign, Modern Totem reused Berlin, but the zombie maps themselves weren't just copy-paste of the campaign missions with zombies slapped over them. There was a lot changed about those locations, whether it's it's opening up some areas, closing off some others, destroying certain things, adding more. I mean, Treyarch went all out, and I'm totally okay with that, because as a direct reminder to any hardcore Zombies fan out there that somehow doesn't play campaign, multiplayer, Warzone, anything else, I get it, right? Zombies was built on reusing assets, but Black Ops 3 and 4 changed that formula, changed perspective a bit, and sort of went in a new direction with how they did level designing for the zombie maps. But don't forget, I'm not trying to make excuses, but do not forget, Treyarch made this game under very limited circumstances. It wasn't even their game to begin with. It was Sledgehammer's. They had 1 year less to make the damn game and to put it out fairly quickly and still have pulled out something incredibly special. On top of pandemic circumstances, working from home, and then also having to work on Vanguard zombies, there was a lot on Treyarch's plate. So yes, I am saying this, cut them some slack. I just don't think it's fair to blame Treyarch for decisions that are out of their control. And either way, right, do you play campaign, multiplayer, or Warzone enough to complain about the fact that zombies reuses some assets from other modes? It doesn't really matter, right? Just enjoy the zombies map and give everything a chance. I also want to quickly bring up the mystery surrounding the Foresaken himself, the big bad that has been hinted at in quite a bit of intel for the last couple of months. I would say ever since the Outbreak Easter eggs, they have started referencing the Foresaken as the big bad, the head honcho, the lead elder god in the Dark Aether right now. But there is something that you guys probably forgot about, or maybe you did it, and that is the Acursed one. So who is the Acursed one and who is the Foresaken? Because right when the Machina came out, right on the stairs, you could see the Acursed one will rise again. If he's gonna rise again, that means that he rose before, so who is that? There's also some graffiti that probably doesn't mean anything, but it's this devil-looking creature in the spawn area of the machine, and maybe that's what the Foresaken looks like. But considering the logo of DLC 4 is purple, we're just gonna guess that the Foresaken himself is a purple being, but maybe he was once red and then turned purple. I know there are rumors right now that have circulated that in Vanguard Zombies, the Dark Aether will be red. So maybe during the prequel chapter of this new saga, Dark Aether was red at one point, and then something happened in Vanguard Zombies, which we're gonna see very soon, that somehow changed Dark Aether to purple. I don't think it's multiverse. That's a bit too confusing. Craig Houston already confirmed that they're not going down that route, so I'm wondering what that can mean, but figured I'd bring that up real quickly. It's still a mystery, right? Who is the Foresaken? Who is the Acursed one? I mean, it's been hinted at in intel that there are many big bads in the Dark Aether that have fought for power, but the Foresaken seems to have come out on top. So maybe the Monty Shadowman combination that we believe was hinted at pretty heavily at the end of Tagger Toten, maybe when that happened, that created a being like the Acursed one or like the Foresaken, whoever that is, but that creature then died off at some point by the hands of this new big bad. We're unsure about that. Maybe Craig Houston will address that one day, but don't forget, he wrote the old Aether storyline. He's writing this one now, so he knows exactly when to bring back old characters and when not to. We're going to trust his judgment and wait for him to clarify anything that may or may not come back. Now let's also do some comparisons real quickly, right? We have Foresaken to Tagger Toten to Revelations to Origins and then to Moon. All of our DLC 4s from Treyarch Zombies iterations. How do you guys think this map will stack up in comparison to those other maps? I'm very curious about that, whether that means it's going to be a really big alternate ending that is offered somehow, whether it means the boss fight's going to be huge, whether it means it's going to be filled with side Easter eggs. I wonder how this is going to hold up, because if I remember correctly, when Tagger Toten came out, a lot of people out there did claim they didn't feel like a proper DLC 4, and it didn't feel on par with Revelations. I already predict people saying that about this map, because it's a reused campaign mission. People are probably going to say it's nowhere near Moon or nowhere near Origins, Revelations. I could see that happening, right? Tagger Toten was a Call of Dead remake, but wasn't a campaign or multiplayer map, but still people complain. So I can already see complaining, but I definitely think this is going to be a very strong conclusion to the current saga that we have as Dark Aether. And I do believe that if there's anything they were saving for the end, this is going to be the time to do it. Whether it's some new experiment for zombies, a new feature, a new mode, a new weapon, some other new system zombies hasn't seen before, they're going to go all out with this map, right? Save the best for last. The only thing I'll say is that we had a big gap in between Firebase Z and Modern Toten. It was a good 6 months, despite having Outbreak kind of being spread across February to July with many updates and other zombies features. Still, it was a big gap, so I'm hoping that because it's a smaller gap between Modern Toten to Forsaken, it won't impact the map's quality in any way. Hopefully, they were already ahead of schedule with this map and now are fully working on Vanguard Zombies. But quickly, in regards to a super Easter egg, I do hope one happens. I want to get your best ideas down below in the comments. What should they do for a super Easter egg reward in this map? I'm very curious about that. I'll ask this question a couple of times in upcoming videos to get different different ideas, and I'll probably gather all of them for a separate video I'm working on. But we do know Black Ops 4 Zombies from Treyarch is the first Zombies iteration not to have a super Easter egg of any form. Black Ops 1 had it with the Big Bang Theory, Black Ops 2 had one with the Endgame over in Buried, that was DLC 3, but you get what I mean. And Black Ops 3 of course had one, RK5, the calling card. Black Ops 4 just didn't, not even a sticker, nothing. And that's because they of course had to cut their time short of Black Ops 4 and immediately work on COD 2020, Cold War. So I'm wondering if because they have to work on Vanguard, will they have time to work on any form of a super Easter egg in this game? But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave all your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the big map name reveal for DLC 4? What are your thoughts on the brand new Wonder Weapon being a melee? And also, what are your thoughts on the possibility of getting a super Easter egg in this finale? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everyone.